Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I'm Lauren from Guthrie and Ganny, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you the recording of my live question and answer session I did over on the Instagram platform on Monday the 20th of March 2023. So I'll be answering the questions that you have sent in beforehand, asking for tips and advice about your sewing and dressmaking projects, and then also answering your questions on different fabric and sewing pattern combinations and recommendations. So lots of inspiration to be had. I've got loads of beautiful fabrics out from the shop to share with you tonight. You'll see me reading out the comments as they come in tonight as well. I'll make sure I'm reading them out so that you're getting the context of any live questions that are coming in. But if you do have a question that you'd like me to answer in a future session, then feel free to leave a comment on this video and I'll add it to my list for the next time. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to switch over to the live now and I'll see you soon. Lovely to see you all. I hope you had a nice weekend, had a nice time. Maybe you got a bit of time to sew, which is fun. I'm still busy sewing samples for our birthday event, which is in a week on Saturday now. So yeah, I've been busy sewing things that I can't share yet, but very exciting nonetheless. So yeah, but it's lovely to see you all. So thanks for joining. I've got various things to show you tonight. My list of questions actually isn't quite as big as it normally is, so I might have a bit more time to answer more questions that you just send in tonight. I'll do my best to answer them off the top of my head. So I'll just hang on till a few more people join and then yeah, I can start answering your questions. Remember, I will save it onto my YouTube channel as well, so it'll probably go up tomorrow. So if you can't watch it all, you want to watch back, you can always watch it back on there, and I always add timestamp chapters to my YouTube recording of it as well, so then it means if you can like look through the list of questions basically that I cover in each session, and then you can sort of jump to that one, so it makes it a little bit easier. Maybe if you are looking for a specific answer to a question, you just want to jump to that, you can do that as well. So I've got a few new things to show you this week before I dive into your questions. The first one is this really beautiful cotton double gauze fabric, which I've got in two colorways to show you. So this is them here. One of them is kind of like a pinky sort of mauvey colour. We've called it pink. And it's 100% cotton, it's double gauze, and it's 1740 meters, then comes in a white as well. And it's just got a really beautiful embroidery detail on it. The embroidery is really lovely. It's got a few different colour tones in it and it's really detailed. The embroidery also isn't shiny, so I've got a feeling that the embroidery is cotton as well. The composition says it's 100% cotton. So it's just like a really lovely quality embroidered thread on it. It's really nice. Some people were asking me about double gauze tonight as well, which I suppose I might as well answer in this question. I think somebody was just asking for recommendations for a woman's top using double gauze. I've made a Helen's Closet Gilbert blouse, which is like a really lovely, quite a simple blouse. You can have a little tie front or just like a straight front as well, and a double gauze, and I love it. I wear it a lot in the summer, but it is a really versatile fabric. You can do lots of different things with it, and I do actually have a blog post on my website that's all about double gauze, so it explains what it is and how to sew with it and lists loads and loads of different patterns. But just any kind of shirts and blouses work in double gauze, you know, anything with a button band is fine, or just more simple tops like the Tilly and the Button Stevie, that was what I was trying to say, Merchant Mills Camber, you know, just like little simple pull-on tops work really nicely in it as well. So it's a lovely versatile fabric, feels really nice to wear as well. So yeah, those two new ones there. Then the other new things that I wanted to show you. So I do get asked quite a lot about what sweatshirting pairs with different cuffing and ribbing, and we've had a couple of new colours of cuffing in. So this is the stuff that you can use for your cuff or on your sweatshirts. You can use it on your cuffs and your hembands, and you can also cut it down as well to use it on your neckband as well. I've also got a blog about that. And we've just had a couple of new colours come in on this one, and I wanted to show you what they match. So luckily they really match very well to the newer colours of the Cozy Colours range. This is the emerald one, and yeah, it matches really nicely. It's probably looking like a little bit lighter here, but I think they do match really nicely. Obviously it's a different type of fabric because the cuffing is like ribbed, so it reflects the light differently. It will always look a little bit different, and the cozy colours has got those lovely little flecks in it as well, but it pairs really nicely, so any of your classic jumper patterns would be good for that combo. And then the red one, or that sort of maroony one, it pairs really nicely with that new colour. For some reason the tag's not on it, and I've forgotten the colour of that newer Cozy Colours one. What is it again? It's kind of like a sort of winey colour, but it's not called wine. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, that pairs really nicely with that one as well. So a couple of options there, you know, if you were making Italian buttons belly or the green line linden, anything, any sort of sweatshirting that's got a cuff on the wrist or on the sleeve or on the hemband as well. And then the other one I want to show you, this one, which is a bit more unusual, the bolt's very heavy, so I'm going to try and lug it over, is this one here with this really cool pattern sort of woven into it. So let me just find the tag for it so I can read to you what it is. It's the block jacquard blended fabric. It's 12.80 a metre and it's 71 cotton and 29 polyester. So it's quite stiff and, you know, sort of firm. It doesn't have stretch in it or anything, but I think it would make a really cool little sort of lightweight jacket. It would be nice for that. Or you could also use it to make a little skirt, so just like a really simple little sort of A-line skirt, like a little mini skirt would be cute, and pair it with some leggings. So yeah, just a little bit more of an unusual one if you're looking for something that's more, you know, it's almost a bit like a canvas, you can make bags with it as well. Just a little bit more unusual with that cool sort of pattern woven into it. And then I've got a feeling I might have shown you these before, but they are now online. These are two new colours that we've added to our super popular range of loop back modal jerseys. We've been stocking this fabric range for years. It's so popular because it's really versatile. It's such a lovely fabric. It wears and washes really well as well. And it's got, so it's like a French terry loop back. So the reverse has got all those like little loops on it. And then, yeah, just two really beautiful new colours. So this is petrol, and then the other one is marine blue. So it's a bit of a sort of lighter blue. You can sort of see them together. So you can make, I've actually used it to make leggings before. Somebody was asking me if we were getting other colours of the micro modal legging fabric in, because we've got that in black and navy at the moment, and we won't be, but you can use this to make leggings too. I've used it to make the Megan Nielsen Virginia leggings, but you just have to cut it out on almost like at 90 degrees to where the selvage is, because it's got more stretch in that direction. But yeah, so you can use them to make that. I've made them to used it to make that. I have also made a Sovrette heather dress in this fabric as well before, which looks really nice. So definitely you could use it to make, you know, dresses, but you can use it to make tops. You could use it for the sweatshirt patterns as well, and it would sort of feel like more of a kind of lighter weight, relaxed type sweatshirt. So it's just such a really beautiful, versatile fabric. It feels really soft because it's made of modal. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know that there was two lovely new colours of that one. And then also coming this week, you might have seen elsewhere on Instagram as well, is that there is a new Fabric Godmother collection coming out as well, which is really, really lovely. It's very summery. So yeah, that'll be online later in the week as well. Let me just see what comments have been coming in so far. Good evening, Lauren and everybody. Good evening. Looking forward to joining you for the birthday celebrations. That's great. Hope you're well and had a lovely Mother's Day. I did, thank you. Are you within walking distance of a train station? Working out if I can get to the birthday celebration. We're not really in walking distance to a train station. We're probably about 15-20 minutes from Birmingham New Street Station in the city centre, and there's a bus that leaves like really close to where the train station is. It's the number 50 bus, and that basically drives right past the shop, because the shop's on a really main sort of trunk road out of the city. So yeah, it's really easy to get here by bus from the city centre, or of course a taxi as well. The Whisper blouse is designed for double gauze. Whisper blouse sounds nice, don't recognise that one. Hello from Florida, hello. Be lovely for a jacket, the jacquard black and white. Yeah, it's actually navy and white, but yeah, sometimes the contrast comes up a little bit different, but yeah, it would be really nice for a jacket. That loop back jersey is gorgeous. I've made a Tammy handmade Mila jumper and a Helen's Closet Blackwood. Yeah, the black, I can imagine the black would be really nice for that. I don't think I recognise the Mila jumper, but it sounds nice, and it would, that fabric is really nice for a jumper. Would the loop back be suitable for the Dawson top? Yes, it would be. Train strikes on the 1st of April, FYI, I am getting a coach. I know, I was like, that came on my radar today, that there's train strikes on the 1st. I'm gutted. I'm kind of hoping that maybe something gets resolved by then, and that the trains come on. It might make it easier for people to travel. What is the jacket / anorak on the mannequin? This one here's the Chalk and Notch Joy jacket, which has got a hood, and it is made using the smooth drape tencel fabric. This was actually a sample for a kit that we did last year. I've got a little video and a blog post that's like a virtual sort of tour of the window, and it's got photos and links to all of the fabrics and patterns that are in it. Hello from Australia. I got the day off, first time I can make it live. Well, welcome. Thanks for watching live, and happy day off. That's exciting. Okay, so the questions that you sent in beforehand, I'll get on to them now. If you've got anything else you want to ask as I'm chatting, then feel free to ask as well. Okay, somebody's also on the topic of the train strikes. I think I heard that RMT have agreed to a pay rise, so hopefully the strike will be called off. Indeed, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay, so the first question was, I'm curious to know where the name of the shop comes from. So the shop, Guthrie and Ganny, is a combination of my name. My surname is Guthrie. I'm Scottish, and it's quite a Scottish name. And then my husband, his surname is Ghani. He is Pakistani, like Pakistani heritage. So yeah, it's our surnames together. And when we were trying to name the shop, we were like thinking up a name. We went through like loads of different, trying to think of like loads of different things and different sort of plays on kind of sewing things or like fabric words and stuff. But I don't know, I think at the time I felt like I wasn't really sure what the business might become, and I didn't really want to sort of give it a name that would kind of make me feel like I had to stick in like one channel or one path. So I felt like if I just called it my name, then I could kind of make it anything I wanted to. And also at the time I got really obsessed with these books that are like, they're like local books, photo books of Birmingham and the surrounding area, of like loads of old photographs of just different things like in the Midlands and in Birmingham. And I used to go into the WH Smith on King's High Street and like look at these books, and there was one that was all pictures of old shops and shop fronts, and all of the shops were just called the owner's name. So then that kind of inspired it as well. Anyway, that's not really related to sewing, but hopefully that was interesting for you. Okay, the next question was making a Lander closet core. I think maybe I'm presuming the True Bias Lander pants, but yeah, it's easy to get these all the names mixed up, isn't it? I heard the waistband sits proud and to use the ginger jeans waistband. So the ginger jeans is a closet core pattern. So yeah, on the True Bias Lander trouser patterns, the waistband is just a rectangle. It's got no shaping in it at all. So depending on your sort of proportions and you know your body shape, it can sometimes, you know, and sort of where it ends up falling on your waistline, that sort of thing, sometimes it can, you know, not sit like nice and snug to your body, and it might be that you need it curved so that it becomes narrower at the top of the waistband than it is in the bottom, and then it sort of just will like sit a bit more flush with the shape of your body. So yeah, you can definitely just use a waistband from another pattern, or you can change the waistband on the Landers just by like cutting up into it, but leaving a little hinge at the top, and then sort of like fanning it out a little bit, and then sticking a bit of pattern paper behind just to make it curved. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Okay, sewing by spending on my lengthened tamarack coat as per your video. That's exciting. Hello Lauren, I bought some of your lovely tencel denim like you're wearing. Yes, that's what I'm wearing. I would like to make a wide-legged pair of trousers. What would you suggest? The Emersons? Yeah, you could make the Emersons with it. Yeah, the Emersons would be nice. It has got stretch in it, so I'm just being mindful of thinking of things that are wide leg but could also bear having a stretch fabric, because sometimes wide leg trousers are more like designed for woven fabrics, just so it sort of holds their shape a little bit more. I wonder if you could make the closet core Jenny overalls and trousers. They're really nice, like wide leg trousers as well. I can't remember if they're for stretch or non-stretch. I mean, you can You can use a stretch fabric for a non-stretch pattern. It just becomes a bit more experimental in terms of the sizing, because if you're using a stretch fabric on a non-stretch pattern, it might be that you want to size down a little bit, potentially. The knee culottes, okay, a suggestion there for wide leg trousers. A few ideas. Okay, the next question was, can you please tell me how you bind the inside of the tamarack, please? Is it simple bias binding? So I guess this is in relation to my coat that I was sharing before, where I did bias bind all of the seam allowances on the inside. So yeah, basically I used the sewing machine to sew it on first of all. So I used the bias binding that is like the same fabric as the outer. So then you can just open up one side, and then I just stitched on that crease line with the sewing machine. And then so yeah, it was effectively like, I wonder if I can try and like hold it up to explain it to you. So yeah, if you imagine like that's the raw edge of the fabric. So I stitched it on like that in that crease, and then I just folded it over, and then I folded it over again, and then I actually painstakingly hand stitched it twice because I didn't really want to machine stitch that. So I then just used like a slip stitch or a blind stitch, invisible stitch, to sew like the binding down, and then on areas where I wanted it to sort of stay open or kind of sit flat, after I did that, I then hand stitched it again so that it would like lay flat against the fabric. So quite a lot of hand stitching involved, but yeah, that's just what I felt like I wanted to do. So yeah, that's how you put it on. It's just like kind of engulfing all of the seam allowances, and then yeah, obviously at the sleeve you can just leave it, but at the seams where you want them to sit open, the seam allowances to sit open, you can then hand sew it so it sits flat as well. Have you got different colours in that wider bias binding? Yeah, we do. We've got quite a few of the different colours that go with the colours of the Mind the Maker Thelma quilted fabric that we stock. What press studs did you use for the tamarack? I'm sorry, I just picked that binding up. I used the Prim Anorak snaps on mine, and I applied them using the Prim Vario pliers. I made a little hole in it with a pair of punch pliers first, and yeah, they've been really good. I have been wearing this coat a lot, and I do it up, so they've been getting a fair bit of wear and tear. They seem to have lasted so far. Thank you, Lauren, that's a huge help. It's almost finished, so we'll finish my binding tomorrow. That's great. Exciting. Okay, the next question was, have you ever made a sasha out of less stretchy fabric? The fabric I've got has only got 10%, but the sasha recommend 20. So I can't actually remember if I have, potentially, but I would say maybe the only thing you might want to consider is they'd maybe have to be like a tad a little bit bigger, just because if they've not got enough stretch, then they might just like feel a bit tighter. So potentially just like grading up a little bit, and then you'd have to sort of baste fit them to see, but you know, if it was going to work. But I think you could probably get away with it. It just will mean they might have to be like a little bit bigger than your normal pair that you've made, if you made them before. Okay, the next question is, I'd love to know any other patterns you could suggest for the leggings fabric. Would a bodysuit or leotard work? So this is in relation to the legging fabric that we originally had as part of the Helen's Closet Avery Sewing Society kit last year. It's a micro modal fabric, and it's got low pill due to the way that the fibres have been sort of twisted. It's really lovely and stretchy, so it's got a 70% four-way stretch, so super stretchy, and yeah, it's really good for leggings, but of course you can use it to make other things as well. So yeah, a bodysuit or a leotard would be good. You could also use it for the named kilo wrap dress or any other wrap dress. You could use it for t-shirts and tops, and yeah, it's just a really lovely, nice, soft, versatile fabric that feels really good. So lots of things that you can do with that. Have you made the Megan Nielsen Ash trousers? I like the variety of leg widths. I haven't actually ever made the Megan Nielsen Ash trousers or jeans. I guess it's because the first jeans that I made were the Closet Core Gingers, and I just liked them so much, and I found that they fitted me, and you know, I got them to fit me, and I liked them, and then I just kind of stuck with that when I was making jeans. But yeah, I guess one day I would quite like to branch out and make them, but sorry, I haven't made them. If anybody else has, then feel free to chip in. Okay, the next question is, I'm wanting to make a pair of proteus pants, which are wide leg drapey trousers. Can you recommend any fabric to consider? So this is a Paradise pattern, proteus pants. So they look sort of like tailored, like a waistband, and then I think they've got pleats at the top, maybe like pockets, sort of slash open pockets, and then yeah, like quite wide leg trousers. So I've got quite a few different options here, because I was looking at the examples on the sampled ones that were on the listing for that pattern. I would probably say my top choice would be this one, which I've recommended for trousers quite a lot. It's the bamboo blended twill fabric, 49 bamboo, 49 recycled polyester and 2% spandex. This particular shade is the indigo, but we do have various different colours in it. It feels really nice. It doesn't crease, so it's like anti-crease, which is really good. And it's because it's got bamboo, it's got a really nice sort of movement and drape to it as well. You could use this to make jumpsuits too. And it's just a really lovely fabric. I think that make a gorgeous pair of trousers. But I did notice that some of the versions looked like they'd been made out of sort of linen-y type fabric as well, like it had more texture to it. So you could use the enzyme linen fabric. This is this one here. I feel like the wide leg of them would just, because this fabric's a bit stiffer, like it holds its shape a little bit more, it would just hold the volume and the shape of the leg more. So I guess it depends how much sort of movement you want in that wide leg. So that's a bit more of like a sort of stiffer option. Or the other options are the viscose linen, which is probably a bit more similar to the bamboo blended twill in terms of like swishiness, but yeah, maybe like a bit more sort of casual and summery in the viscose linen. I feel like the black bamboo blended twill is maybe more of a smarter option, so it might depend on what setting you think you want to wear them in. And then also the Verona linen, I think that would work as well. I've got a pair of Merchant & Mills Eve trousers in this, and I wear it all the time in the summer. It's a really lovely fabric. The Verona actually naturally has a bit of stretch in it as well, so it's got a little bit of give. So it's the Verona linen is another really lovely one for trousers too. Okay, the next one was, can you recommend patterns for a women's top using double gauze? So yeah, I was mentioning that one before. The Helen's Closet Gilbert blouse is probably one of my most worn tops that I've got that's made in double gauze. I wear it a lot in the summer. But the Closet Core Cali, the Tillian's Button Stevie, as I was saying before, I have seen some really nice versions of the Friday Pattern Company Sagebrush top as well. It's got that yoke with the little gathered bit in it too, and the more sort of puff sleeves. It's really nice. But any sort of blouse and top pattern is good for double gauze. It's nice and versatile. And the next one is there a ponte appropriate for a sirocco jumpsuit? So I tend to find that ponte Roma fabric is usually either 100% polyester, or it's got quite a high content of polyester. It tends to be a bit more of a sort of kind of not stiffer, but like thicker, more sort of structured jersey fabric. It usually doesn't have loads of stretch. And I'm not like a huge fan of it. I don't know, I feel like the typical high polyester content of it doesn't really do it for me. It kind of like, I don't know, you know, when some things like give you the heebie-jeebies a little bit, it's like a cotton wool thing, I don't know. So I'm sorry, I don't have any ponte. I also find that quite often they're like really dark. They're either like dark grey, or like a lighter grey, or like a black colour. You tend not to get like as many sort of brighter fabrics in it. But I do actually think that that micro modal fabric that is the legging fabric, I actually think that would be really nice for the Sirocco jumpsuit as well. It definitely is lighter than Ponte Roma, but I think it would still be really nice for that. So yeah, you could consider that as an option. I've made the Gilbert top in double gauze. I agree, it's really nice for summer. Yeah, indeed. Okay, the next question was fabrics for the tessuti Verona pattern, but please not wool as I'm allergic to it. So this is a little sort of cute cropped boxy jacket that's got a collar on it as well, and it is recommended that you use wool or boiled wool because it has all of the edges left raw. So I think if you want to make this but you don't want to use anything that's got a wool content in it, then it's a case of trying to find something that's like a coating fabric but that it doesn't fray. And you can get things like that. Unfortunately, I don't have any. I think you would have to get something that's polyester. or you know, like some kind of synthetic or polyester blend, and you can get things like that are like coating polyester type coating fabrics that don't fray. It's just a case of probably trying to ascertain whether they fray or not before you buy them. So as I said, I'm sorry I don't have anything that sort of fits that, but maybe you can find some sort of like coating fabric, or sometimes I've even seen that type of fabric get called vegan wool, just because, you know, it's not come from the sheep. So yeah, and then maybe like contacting the place that you're getting it from before you buy it to ask them if it frays or not, because I think that would be the sort of key in making that jacket, is getting something that doesn't fray. Okay, somebody's saying, I saw someone wearing the jumpsuit who had made it in a cotton jersey and it was lovely. Yeah, the sirocco is a really popular one. I've also seen somebody wear it who'd made it using a viscose jersey as well. It looks really nice, it looks super comfy. I made it in white without the tie front bit. I think that's the Gilbert blouse. Yeah, my double gauze Gilbert blouse has got the little tie bit. Okay, the next question was fabric recommendations for the Agnes top, please. I was presuming this is the Tilling the Buttons one, which got re-released in their new sort of size range that they have, that they're sort of backdating all their patterns on. So it's just quite a really classic, versatile jersey t-shirt top. You can have different sleeve options. It's got really nice detail at the neckline where you can use clear elastic to create a sort of ruching effect if you want. It is optional. It's actually a really versatile pattern. There's loads of things you could use to make with it. So I've got a few different options to show you. I would say probably like most classic obvious choice is a cotton jersey. It's probably the easiest to work with as well, just because it's a little bit more stable. And we've got loads of different colours of this one. This is an organic one. It specifically is the sky blue organics cotton jersey fabric. It's $14.40 a metre, but as I said, we've got lots of different colours of plains. We do also have quite a lot of prints in cotton jersey as well. A lot of them tend to be maybe like a little bit more novelty, which maybe might be your thing or not. And then the other options that I've got to show you are that this is the bamboo jersey, which is really lovely. It feels amazing. This is specifically the apricot colour, apricot coral bamboo jersey fabric. So it's 68 bamboo and 28 cotton. So again, a little bit more stable and easier to work with, just because it's got the cotton in it, but probably has like a little bit more kind of floppiness to it, and just probably feels like a little bit more kind of like silky or sort of supple than the just the cotton jersey. Another good option there. Then getting into a bit more of like silky, slinky, really soft one is the tencel jersey. This is probably like a little bit finer as well, but it feels amazing. I absolutely love wearing this fabric. It feels so nice, really luxurious, really stretchy. But it is a little bit thinner, I would say, than the cotton jersey, so maybe sort of depends on what kind of thickness that you want there. And then also you could use that loop back medal that I was showing you in the beginning, the new colours of that. So then that would be a bit more of a thicker option, because this fabric is really good for crossing over between t-shirt patterns and sweatshirt patterns. So yeah, you could definitely use that to make the Agnes as well. So lots of different options there. It's a really lovely versatile fabric pattern. I mean, one of those ones that you know you would just be making again and again. Okay, the next one was fabric recommendations for a plain max tee from Chalk and Notch. So this is, it's not sleeveless, but it's kind of got, maybe the version that I was looking at sort of had facings here, maybe like a bit more of a broader shoulder. And then the way they'd styled it was maybe like over something else, so a bit more of sort of boxy sort of top. So I think the options that you could go for in this one, for something that's a bit more like kind of floppy or relaxed, or is going to move around a bit, again, I'm going to refer you back to the loop back jersey, medal jersey. It's a nice sort of thickness, but you can see it's quite floppy, so it's going to give you, you know, it's going to have more movement in it, that one. Or you could go for the cotton, so like a loop back again, so same type of fabric, but this time this one's made of cotton. And it's just a little bit more stable. It'll hold its shape a little bit more. Lovely classic Breton style here. We also have the reverse of this fabric, so like the wider stripes navy and the thinner stripes white. I love this fabric. I've got a Jennifer Lauren handmade gable top in this, which I still wear loads. I've had it for years. We did it as a kit years ago and I still wear it a lot, and it still basically looks brand new. It's a really good fabric, washes and wears really good. The other option that I was thinking, so we're still on the Chalk and Notch Max T, is the viscose blended knit, and I feel like it would almost be a bit like a sort of sweater vest. It might look quite cool, like paired with a little nice blouse underneath it. This is a double-sided fabric. It comes in quite a few colours. It was more of a winter one that we had, so our stocks are sort of running a bit lower now, but we do still have some of it left. We've also got some that's like reversible, so it's different colour on either side. So yeah, that's the viscose blended knitted one, or we've got the double faced viscose blended knit. So yeah, that would be a bit more sort of more cozy kind of winter one if you're still up for that kind of thing. Okay, the next one was fabric recommendations for the hinterland dress please, and then a separate one that was asking for long sleeved hinterland fabric recommendations. So if you're wanting a bit more of like a sort of wintry kind of option, or like a thicker option, I think needle cord would be really nice, specifically the non-stretch one, non-stretch needle cord as opposed to stretch needle cord. I feel like the stretch needle cord would be a little bit too stiff. This is a cute one. It's a nice purpley colour and got these little embroidered hearts, but we do have some plain needle cords as well, and I think that would make a really lovely one that you could pair with tights. And then the other option that I was thinking for the hinterland, what else did I think for this one? The viscose linen that I showed before, I think that would be nice. That's a bit more of a sort of summery version, and I think that would really kind of drape lovely and just sit really nice sort of simple classic dress. But yeah, because it's viscose linen, it's going to be a little bit more summery. Or if you were going for a print, I think a viscose twill would be nice. So a viscose twill is just where the weave of the fabric is a twill weave, so when you look closely you can see like the diagonal sort of texture of that. It just makes it feel a little bit thicker and sort of heavier. So I've got a couple of prints to show you. This one here is the steel grey animal print viscose twill fabrics, 1360 a metre. It's really lovely, a nice sort of classic colour, but yeah, just a bit of a fun print. It looks really nice in a dress. And then the other one that I think would look really nice in the hinterland as well is this one, also a viscose twill. Actually, it's a viscose tencel twill. So it's the Shibori Effect viscose tencel fabric, 70 viscose and 30 tencel. And it's just got a really lovely sort of thicker, kind of more weightier feel to it, but still will sort of drape and swish and be nice in the gathers of the hinterland dress. So a few different options there, depending on what look you want to go for. The next one was, is the textured jacquard cotton suitable for making a light cover-up jacket? That is this one here, which we had in a few colours, but I've got a feeling we only have this orange and black left. Might be able to get some more though. It is the textured cotton jacquard fabric. It's 100% cotton. So I would say it's more of like a sort of medium weight cotton and got this really beautiful, lovely texture in it, which reminds me a bit of like a waffle fabric, but it's not like a waffle fabric. And yeah, I think it would make a really lovely sort of lightweight jacket. You could do the Friday Pattern Company Ilford with it, or any of those sort of like, they're almost a bit like shirts, but they're a bit like jackets. I think So Over It have got a new one out as well, which I think would similar sort of style, which would be nice in that. So yeah, my answer is yes. Okay, somebody's asking, could you make a Tilly in the Button Stella hoodie with a loop back model? Yeah, you could. It will just feel like lighter weight and more floppy. So it won't sort of hold the kind of structure and shape of like fleece back sweatshirting fabric, but you definitely could do it. It will just be a bit more sort of like slouchy and relaxed and feel lighter weight. So yeah, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm just saying that's a thing to be aware of, but I still think it would be nice. Okay, the next one is any good pattern fabric recommendations for summer coords. So the first things that came to mind for things that go together, it's like an outfit, is the Friday Pattern Company Saguaro set, and then also their Saturday skirt set as well. So the Saguaro set, I made a couple of these last summer, it's really nice. It's just a lovely, simple, wide leg pair of trousers that have got an elastic waist, pockets, and then the top has got an elastic bit at the bottom as well. Nice V-neck and nice wide sleeves. You can lengthen it a little bit as well. It does look quite cropped in the photos, but I know people lengthen it. You could wear a little vest under it as well if you didn't want it too exposed in the middle. and it looks that the saguaro set looks amazing, and the viscose linen, it looks really, really nice. That's what I've got my versions in as well. So that would be my top pick for that, or then the Saturday skirt pattern as well, if you want simple skirt and shirt to go together. That's my recommendation for that. The next one is a glamorous dress pattern for a wedding guest. I would suggest having a look. Deer and Doe have got some really pretty dresses that have got like really nice details and features in them. If you're finding it hard to picture what they'd be like, but you sort of think you might kind of like the style of it, what I would suggest that you do is then, you know, see the name of the pattern that you like, and then just look at the hashtag of that on Instagram, or like Google image that, the name of that pattern, and then you see lots of people's different versions of it. Can be a really good way to like see any other versions to sort of inspire you. And also fibre, I really like all the fibre mid dresses as well. I think they've got a really nice big variety of like different types of dresses that have got different features in them and stuff. They're all quite modern styles as well, so I would suggest checking that out as well, and you'll find some nice fancy wedding guest outfits. Okay, somebody's asking, are there plans to get in any more of the raspberry double gauze that's currently out of stock on the website, please? I've got a feeling we don't have any on order, but if you either send us an email or put in a stock notification, then we can just make sure that we add it on the next time we put an order in. Is Pima cotton mostly suitable for a blouse, or can it be used for a summer dress? Pima cotton is like a cotton lawn, or like a type of cotton lawn, so it's quite lightweight. I'd probably say it is, you know, it is really good for a blouse, but you can use it for a summer dress as well. I think depending on the style of the dress would affect whether you felt like you wanted to line it or not. If it's something that's like a bit straighter, or there's not much fullness in the skirt, you might feel like you want to line it just so you feel like you've got more coverage. But as an example, years ago, I made this over at Betty Dress in a cotton lawn, and the Betty Dress has got like a big full circle skirt, and I didn't line it, and because it was a full circle skirt, I just felt like there was enough fabric there for a summer dress that I felt like it was okay. So if it's something like that, it's got lots of gathers, you might feel like it's okay, but otherwise you might want to line it. I would just line it with a cotton lawn or a cotton voile. Just keep it something that's really lightweight, nice and breathable still as well. Okay, the next question was a skirt pattern that is fitted around the waist, not gathered, but is floaty from the hips down. So I've got a few suggestions to have a look at here. The Sew Over It Nima skirt is more sort of fitted until it's maybe like kind of a third to halfway down your thigh, and then it's kind of gathered after that. So it's a bit more fitted over the hips. The Friday Pattern Company Saturday skirts, the one I was mentioning before, it's flat at the front. It does have an elastic waist at the back, but it is flatter at the front if you didn't want that fullness at your front. The Tessuti Malia skirt, that's Mahlia skirt. I can't remember what that looks like, but I felt like it fitted your brief at the time. So have a little look and see what you think. And then also the Fibre Mood Crystal skirt, which had like different panels. It was quite cool. It was like a longer skirt, but just made a little bit different because it had these sort of different panels that kind of attached at different angles. So quite cool. If you've got like a stripy fabric or something, you can play around with the stripes on that one. And then this is actually my last question that has my list. So if anybody does have any other questions, then feel free to leave them there now and I will answer them. Okay, the last one was, I have a pregnant friend who's needing some maternity clothes. I'm planning some named kilo wrap dresses for them. Any jersey that you'd recommend? I absolutely loved wearing that dress when I was pregnant. It was so comfy. And I basically like barely took mine off towards the end because it was so comfortable. I would probably say that the version that I made is in it's not exactly the same fabric, very, very similar to our Tencel jersey fabric that we've got now, which comes in a range of loads of different colours. It's super stretchy, it's nice and lightweight, it feels really silky and soft, feels very luxurious to wear. So the Tencel jersey definitely would be a good option. And then also the legging fabric that we've got at the moment, the micro modal, it is just in black and navy, but you know, if you want more sort of like plainer dresses, then that would be a nice option as well. Again, it feels nice and silky and soft and nice and stretchy, so that would be a good option too. And then you could, if you want something that's patterned or a bit more colourful, I would also say that the bamboo cotton fabrics that we have would be good, as would any of the viscose jerseys. The viscose jerseys tend to be a bit more like patterned and kind of fancy if you want something like that. So lots of different options for the named Kilo wrap dress. Okay, the questions that are coming in here as well. I made a dress with Pima cotton full skirt. I wore a slip under it and I loved it. Yes, that's another option if you didn't want to line it. You could just wear a little slip underneath. I'm going to be making a heather blazer with some red linen that's been in my stash for around 20 years. Can you recommend suitable lining fabric, please? I would say if you're making it out of a linen, I think you could just use a cotton lawn to line it. Because if it's a linen, you know, you're probably going to be wearing it in the summer. It's more like a spring summery thing. So I think just lining it with a cotton lawn would be really nice. And then you can get something that's like really lovely and patterned and colourful. We've got loads of different cotton lawns. We've got loads of Liberty fabrics as well if you're feeling a bit fancy and wanted to do that. If you were worried about getting it on and off, you could just line the sleeves in a more traditional, like slippery viscose lining, which we do sell as well. But I would say for the bodice, definitely go for like more fancy cotton lawn. Would the deep peacock blue chunky knit fabric work for the linden with stepped hem and just hemmed cuffs bottom edge? I'm not sure because it is very chunky and I don't know what you would do at the neckband. I feel like you would maybe have to not use that fabric for the neckband. But then I'm not totally sure what I've got that would go with it. I'd have to have a look and see if I've got any teals that would go with it. I'm not sure on that one. Do you have a loop back jersey in plain white? I actually don't think we do. No, I'm sorry. I think the plain white jersey that we've got is just like the regular sort of organic cotton single knit jersey. Plain fabric suggestion for winter shorts. I made a toile in canvas cotton which I liked, but fluff etc sticks all over it. You could use that bamboo twill to make shorts. I think that would be nice. Fluff's not going to stick to that. I think that would be cute. You could do that. I came to your shop on Friday and brought the red linen for a top. Any recommendations? Was it the viscose, the enzyme wash linen? I'm trying to think what linen it probably would be because I could see that on the top. For a top in the linen, I think just a nice little blouse would be nice. Maybe like the Closet Core Cali, the sort of shorter version of that would be cute. You might want to, a lot of people lengthen that. It's quite cropped, but I think that would look nice. Yeah. Okay, have I got them all there? Oh no, there's some more here. Is the white bamboo jersey see-through? Is it very floppy? It is floppy, and it probably is a little bit see-through. A little bit. I think you'd be wanting to make sure you had a nice white bra on with that. Any tips for binding the back neckband of a t-shirt? Yeah, if you look at the Closet Core tee pattern, which is a free pattern, I think maybe you have to sign up to their mailing list, I can't remember. But if you get that as free and you get the instructions for it, it shows a really cool way to finish off the back neckband with like a bit of binding that sort of extends into the shoulder seams. It looks really cool. So yeah, you can check that out. Okie doke. I'm now like weirdly starting to lose my voice, but maybe good timing because yeah, I've answered all your questions that have been sent in beforehand. So next week I should be here. It will be the week before our big birthday party event in the shop, and I'm hoping I'm not freaking out too much and that everything's like under control, that I still have the capacity to do the live. So all being well, I will be with you again next Monday, and then I should be here the Monday after that as well, and then it's Easter already, so I probably won't be around for a couple of weeks when it's Easter time. But yeah, keep your questions coming. If you send them in during the week, I'd usually just try to flag them and then add them to my list when it gets to the next Monday. But you can watch out for the question box. I'll put that up on Saturday morning again, and you can always ask me any questions there that you want me to cover, anything you want to see. But I hope you found that useful and inspiring, and you've got some ideas for new projects, and that you have a lovely week, that you get some time for nice sewing projects. And yeah, I'll see you very soon, if next Monday, if not before. Bye everyone.